Have you ever wondered what a general's personal memories of the Battle of Gettysburg might reveal? In this video, we're stepping into the heart of one of the most brutal and defining moments in American history. Together, we'll unearth a shocking, unfiltered narrative straight from the hand of Confederate General John Bell Hood, written in 1875 to his fellow officer and friend, General James Longstreet. This letter is a window into the mind of a man haunted by the chaos of battle and the weight of leadership. Hood's reflections offer chilling insights and hard truths from Gettysburg, a vivid and dark reflection of a conflict that shaped a nation. From the blood-soaked grounds of Devil's Den to the fierce clashes atop Little Round Top, Gettysburg was a place where legends were forged, lives were lost, and history was forever changed. Hood's account is a rare glimpse into that chaotic and violent time, 10 years after the guns fell silent. His letter stands as a testament to the enduring psychological scars of war. Through his powerful words, we hear the voice of a soldier struggling with the complex burdens of duty and honor. In many ways, his story is every soldier's story, a tale of choices made under fire, of regret, and of a legacy that lives on in the history of Gettysburg. Before we begin, take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. Join us on Native Legacy as we journey through history's hidden corners, reviving the forgotten and bringing to life the untold stories of the past. Your support helps us continue our mission to share these vital pieces of history with future generations. When we think of Gettysburg, familiar names like Pickett, Hancock, and Meade may come to mind. Yet today, we're shining a light on a less discussed figure, General John Bell Hood, whose relentless charge on Little Round Top would forever change the course of the battle. Hood was a daring leader, often known for his bold tactics and willingness to take risks. But even the most fearless leaders face moments of doubt, and Hood's account reveals a man whose instincts and experience told him that Gettysburg would not end well for the Confederates. His intuition was right, but he was bound by orders, constrained by the chain of command, and ultimately left with little choice but to follow directives that he knew would lead to devastating losses. Hood's letter, penned to General Longstreet in 1875, gives us a front-row seat to the fateful day of July 2, 1863, and it opens with Hood arriving at Gettysburg with his staff just after dawn. Hood recalls, "I arrived with my staff at the heights of Gettysburg just after dawn on July 2. My division moved into a nearby open field, where soldiers stacked their arms, resting while awaiting orders." This moment of calm would soon give way to one of the most intense confrontations in Civil War history. Hood's attention to detail draws us in, from the positions of the soldiers to the tension in the air. General Lee, Hood recalls, was pacing beneath the trees, clad in his full uniform. Hood writes, "Lee paced beneath the trees, clad in his full uniform, and at times, seemed lost in thought as he took in the enemy's numbers." Lee was not alone in his silent contemplation. Hood describes Colonel Fremantle, a British observer, perched in a nearby tree, binoculars in hand, studying the Union positions. The scene feels almost cinematic, high-ranking officers, quiet in the early morning mist, grappling with the enormity of the task ahead. At this moment, Hood recounts Lee's unwavering determination to engage the Union forces. "The enemy is here," Lee told him, "and if we don't defeat him, he will defeat us." But Hood, ever the strategist, harbored serious doubts. He advised waiting for Pickett's division, which was still en route, a force that could potentially turn the tide if they arrived in time. Yet, the clock was ticking, and orders were orders. Lee's resolve was unshakable, and around 3 o'clock that afternoon, they moved forward with what Hood sensed was an ill-fated mission. The advance was grueling. The Emmetsburg Road became their path of attack, with McLaws' division leading the charge and Hood's close behind. Hood writes of how his men picked up their pace as they neared enemy lines, clearing fences and other obstacles. His scouts had informed him that the Union flank rested on Round Top, suggesting that a maneuver around their position might be possible. Hood saw this as an opportunity to strike from the side or rear, a tactical advantage that could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Yet, just as they reached the Emmetsburg Road, orders came down for a frontal assault. Hood recalls his frustration as he surveyed the terrain and the enemy's fortifications, noting, "The enemy's line formed a concave shape, making it nearly impossible to navigate the steep, rugged mountain while under crossfire. I believed it would be impossible to achieve success at anything less than a terrible cost to my men." Hood's account conveys the agonizing helplessness of a commander forced to lead his troops into an almost certain bloodbath. As the battle raged on, Hood repeatedly tried to make his case, dispatching staff officers to relay his concerns to Longstreet, each time receiving the same response: General Lee's orders stood firm. Hood describes these exchanges with increasing desperation. Seeing the rugged terrain, strewn with boulders, and facing fire from the Federal line positioned on higher ground, I became convinced the assault would cost us dearly. Yet the orders remained. Desperate, Hood made one final protest, sending Colonel Harry Sellers with an impassioned plea to reconsider. But Longstreet's message returned unchanged: the assault would proceed as planned. Hood would soon pay a heavy price for his adherence to command, as he sustained a severe wound to his arm while leading his troops at the Peach Orchard. Reflecting on that moment, he writes, "As I was carried from the field, my heart weighed heavy with worry for my men, knowing they faced one of the war's bloodiest fights. I believed, had I been allowed to maneuver, we might have secured the field and possibly driven the enemy back." Hood's letter to Longstreet carries a tragic, almost resigned tone. By the end, his words reflect the haunting blend of pride and regret, as he signs off, "I remain respectfully yours, J.B. Hood." This letter, one of Hood's last reflections on the battle, is a glimpse into the inner conflict that marked much of his career. Here was a man caught between loyalty to his superiors and his duty to protect his men. General John Bell Hood is a complex figure in American history. Known for his audacity and courage, Hood's leadership during battles like Gettysburg was as contentious as it was legendary. The horrors of Devil's Den and Little Round Top are infamous for the sheer ferocity of the combat that day. These attacks are seared into history, epitomizing the brutality and devastation of Gettysburg. And yet, what makes Hood's story so compelling is that it's more than just an account of a general following orders. It's the story of a soldier haunted by a war that asked too much from its men, of lives lost in pursuit of an outcome that was both necessary and tragic. It's important to remember that Hood wrote this letter a full decade after the war had ended. As with all memories, time can blur details and alter perceptions. Some may question the accuracy of Hood's recollections, but even if the fine points have faded, the core of his message remains intact: the burden of leadership in the face of insurmountable odds, the heartbreak of orders that doomed countless lives, and the toll that war exacts on those who survive it. Hood's life came to an end in 1879, just 4 years after he penned his letter to Longstreet. He died in New Orleans, a figure both respected and questioned, a man whose life and service remain the subject of debate among Civil War historians. As we continue to study Hood's legacy, his letter serves as a powerful reminder of the personal cost of war. It invites us to see Gettysburg not just as a series of strategic maneuvers or battle statistics, but as a human experience, a day that haunted those who survived and shaped the lives of those who did not. Thank you for joining us today on Native Legacy, as we journeyed into the mind of a general and the soul of a soldier. Hood's account allows us a closer look at the complexity of war and the weight of leadership. I hope this story gives you a deeper understanding of Gettysburg, not only as a pivotal battle in American history but also as a reminder of the enduring human cost of conflict. If you found this video compelling, don't forget to like and subscribe to Native Legacy. By supporting us, you help keep these important histories alive, ensuring that future generations understand the past and the lessons it holds. Stay tuned for more videos where we bring history to life, one untold story at a time.